Good morning. So we are Tuesday. So we are just about to start our morning session at 6:15, which is from home today. And then we have yoga with Bindu at 7 p.m. 7 a.m. Sorry. I actually nearly got that wrong. So then we have 9:30 a.m., which is no floor, where we do no squat, no floor, no knee kind of aggravating exercise, if you like. So not even any squats. It's no everything. It's like one of those recipes where you see like gluten-free, vegan, doesn't contain this, and this. Then at 11, we have our virtual coffee. And then at 7 p.m, we have our stomach blast workout. But anyway, a few ladies starting this week on our 28-day kickstart, and something we went over in our one-to-one where we put together the plan is to get clear on your why and actually not just set a typical plan or goal setting thing, because we all know where that ends up, and we can have associations with setting goals which actually make us fail from the start. I don't want to set a goal because I've failed it before. Now, one of the things that always comes up is around kids, grandkids, family, and that's where we can get a hell of a lot of leverage from. But at the same time, now this is going to sound a bit odd, but they can also be an obstacle in that, looking after kids, there might be more snacks, foods around, and that can make it more difficult, especially if people are eating more. I know for a fact, like when I'm with the kids, it's almost like, and with lockdown and everything, they eat like every few hours, and it's like, oh, am I hungry? Or they'll half eat something, and you're like, oh, the temptation is there, and no doubt does that that increases the chances of me eating more. But here's what you need to remember. They're watching everything we do. And actually, just as much as they are our motivation, we want to spend more time with them. We want to be able to stand up for longer with them, play with them for longer, not be out of breath, throw them around, make memories. At the same time, they're watching our every move, and actually, whether we like it or not, we are a role model for them. I can vouch for this. I'm eating some yogurt out of the tub. What are you eating, Daddy? Just tasting the yogurt prior to, because that's something I'll say, oh, don't eat out of the tub, you got to eat it out of the bowl. And it's like, imagine if you acted in a way where you were being watched. Imagine Santa's watching. What would you do differently? What do you want them to be like? What values do you want them to have? And when we can approach this, when we can see it, okay, how does my behavior impact them? And coming from someone with an eating disorder, I know for a fact that I'm a bit more wary about just saying, actually, yeah, just have that. Just being a bit more flexible. They choose what they eat. Now, going back to turning these potential obstacles into motivation, you've got the question of, okay, what values do I want to share with them? But also knowing that motivation comes from doing. So we might need the motivation to say, and actually just having a set plan. So here's the scenario and what we worked through yesterday. I'll just share it with you. The obstacle is when the kids are there, they eat more. And then one of the ladies, she was like, almost like every few hours, they have snacking, they're having pom bears, they're having cheese. And it's like, I just have one. Then once I get one, I get the taste for it. You ever get that? And when you then get into this, like, I've got to taste it, F it mindset, that's the issue, not the pom bear. Pom bear's like 50 calories, cheese, 80 calories. Now, she'll happily snack on nuts, which are actually higher in calories. And given her goal of fat loss and getting fit, etc., would it be a bad thing if she just stuck to her snacks, but just switched them around so she could have some snacks, sit down with the kids and have what they're having, maybe introduce the nuts in there, have a choice then? And sometimes it's just such a simple solution like that can just flick the switch a bit and actually make us think, oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, this is okay. I don't have to avoid that food. I don't have to, I know it's confusing. I know you might think that, oh, you can't eat that, you can't eat this, but remember that actually you can. Like, I don't know where some of this comes from in terms of demonizing certain things. Demonizing to the extent where we actually go into self-sabotage mode or believe that we have to self-sabotage. Now, one last thing to touch on. We get the most motivation out of doing things that we value. So if you value being a role model to the kids, doing stuff with the kids, having fun with them, you'll enjoy that. Now, I know it's going to sound weird, but exercise, eating well, actually allows us to do that for longer, right? It makes us fitter. It makes us have more energy. Now, what if you can now attach that to your why, to the time with the grandkids, to the time with the kids? So actually, it's not that eating well is just a chore, what does it allow you to do? Because when you align what you're doing with your values, because actually now, yeah, that's actually aligning with my values, because I want to be able to do X, Y, and Z with the kids. You're going to find it a lot easier to motivate yourself in the morning, in the afternoon. Especially, here's a little tip for you. I'll finish on this because this is very practical. Grab some Post-it notes. Write down your 3 to 5 biggest benefits from doing it. From doing what you said you would do with your food, with your exercise, and stick them in trigger areas where you'll see in your trigger times, whether that's in the evening at 7 p.m, where you'll see that and go, oh, yeah, it makes me think a bit. It's a trigger in the way of my habit. Remember, like I always say, your head is like a set of roads. You got a highway, which is really easy to drive on, smooth drive, nice and easy. Every time you reinforce a habit, that road gets wider, clearer, nice and easy to do. It's easier to do the next day. Comfort eat today is easier to comfort eat tomorrow. Exercise today is easier to exercise tomorrow. Compare that to something you're not doing, you're neglecting, whether it's a good habit or a bad habit. It's like a bumpy A road with potholes anywhere. You have to really get prepared to go over it. Might even need a tractor. Anyway, that's enough from me today. Onto our 6:15 session. Then we have yoga with Bindu straight after. So take care. Have a great day.